Breaking news. The £110 million striker is now waiting for Arsenal's deal before considering other transfer options, and Mikel Arteta admits he has a significant interest in the £25 million ace who could end the careers of 3 players at Arsenal. Stay with me until the end of the video to understand everything that's happening behind the scenes at the Emirates Stadium. But before that, if you're as passionate about Arsenal as we are, don't waste any time and subscribe to our channel right now to stay updated on everything happening with the greatest team in the Premier League. And without further ado, let's dive into today's top news. Arsenal joins the race to sign exciting French midfielder. Arsenal is the latest club to join the race for the highly sought-after Youssouf Fofana as he continues to impress at AS Monaco. The French club is expected to secure a spot in the Champions League next season, and Fofana is one of their top performers who will help them achieve that goal. His form for the Ligue 1 side has attracted the attention of several top European clubs, including PSG. However, the French champions are not alone in their pursuit, as Arsenal has now entered the race, as reported by Fichajes. Arsenal is looking to bolster their squad in the summer, and their midfield could be a position that they will look to improve at the end of the current campaign. The Gunners consider Fofana to be good enough for their squad, and he could become the long-term replacement for Thomas Partey, who is rumoured to leave at the end of the season. Victor Osimhen keen on Arsenal move despite interest from Saudi Arabia. Arsenal have been linked with a number of strikers ahead of the summer transfer window, and plenty would be eager to join. Mikel Arteta's Arsenal are now one of the most attractive destinations in Europe. Arsenal have the spending power to bring in big names, as shown with last summer's deal to sign Declan Rice, and can offer the chance to challenge for major trophies. Arsenal are in the market for a striker this summer, although a huge purchase like Rice may not be prioritized given the strong form of Kai Havertz, with a deal for Victor Gyökeres now unlikely to happen. Nevertheless, a long-term target in Victor Osimhen is now reportedly keen on joining Arsenal, and is eager to see whether Arteta still has any interest in signing him. Italian journalist Walter Di Maggio has now issued a major update on Osimhen's future, telling Kiss Kiss Napoli that he wants to join Arsenal. Osimhen? He's waiting for Arsenal, but if there's no real proposal, he'd consider Saudi Arabia, he stated. Napoli have fallen off dramatically from their historic title win last season, and now sit 10th in Serie A, but Osimhen has still produced up front, with 17 goals and 4 assists in 31 games across all competitions. Arsenal now have a decision to make over Victor Osimhen. Arsenal still want a striker, but Osimhen's £110 million release clause will be off-putting for Edu Gaspar and Arteta. Osimhen has a poor injury record, missing 20 games since the start of last season, and he would represent a massive risk if the full release clause needs to be paid to sign him. The ball is firmly in Arsenal's court, as the player is keen on joining, despite the possibility that he may start behind Havertz when the season begins. Arsenal could use his stance to try and negotiate a lower transfer fee if they are keen on him, but the question remains over whether Arteta still desires the Nigerian striker, or whether he has moved on to other targets such as Benjamin Sesko. There is merit in Arsenal pursuing a younger forward at this time, with a proven hitman like Osimhen no longer necessary to start next season. Despite his goal record, Osimhen would come with a great deal of risk, and unless his price significantly drops, this does appear to be a deal which may not end up happening this summer. Arsenal are interested in Valencia midfielder Javi Guerra. Arsenal looks set for a busy summer of signings and sales, and some popular players may end up departing as Mikel Arteta looks to upgrade his squad. The Gunners finished 2 points behind Manchester City in what was a strong campaign overall, and they look set to challenge for the title again. One thing that may have cost Arsenal in the race was a lack of rotation, and upgrading the backup options in the squad may be a priority. With this in mind, Arteta may have to pick between Fabio Vieira and Emile Smith-Rowe as advanced midfielders. Thomas Partey could also leave, with a new defensive midfielder being targeted, but one signing may end up leading to the departures of all 3 players at the same time. A report from Team Talk has now revealed that Arsenal are showing significant interest in Valencia midfielder Javi Guerra, alongside Manchester United. The 20-year-old has stood out since breaking through into the first team last year, making 50 appearances for the La Liga side. Guerra made himself a club hero last year when he came on in a 1-minute cameo, but scored a stunning injury time winner against Real Valladolid, in a game which ultimately saved Valencia's place in the top flight. How Javi Guerra could fit in at Arsenal at the expense of other midfielders. Guerra has played across several midfield roles, including as the deepest midfielder as well as the most advanced. He excels with the ball at his feet, ranking in the top 7% of European midfielders for successful take-ons, and this makes him a more press-resistant midfield option than Partey, who has been targeted in recent games as a result of his reduced mobility. Guerra has also scored 5 goals in a team which often struggles for them, and his wand of a left foot could see him play a more attacking role, but one which Fabio Vieira would perhaps think is his spot to gain. With Guerra reportedly available at a cut price £25 million, Arsenal may seize the opportunity to capture a top talent, but there may not be room in the squad for him, Smith Rowe and Vieira at the same time, so if he does arrive, it will make an exit for at least one of these 3 players inevitable. £45 million player will leave Arsenal this summer as Mikel Arteta looks for upgrade. Arsenal are set to make several sales in the summer as they look to upgrade areas of their squad, and this could mean some high-profile players depart. Mikel Arteta's side fell just short of Manchester City in the title race, but whilst few areas of the starting 11 need to change, having a stronger bench could prove to be the difference next season. However, arguably the only position in which Arsenal need a player to come in as a starter is in defensive midfield. Declan Rice has excelled in a more advanced role, and whilst Jorginho has performed well, his age means he cannot play every week. Thomas Partey returned from injury to end the season, and whilst he did impress at times, it became clear that the physicality which once made him excel has waned. With 1 year left on his deal, there were question marks over his future, but it has now become clear what Arsenal's plan of action over the 30-year-old will be. Thomas Partey will leave Arsenal this summer. Transfer expert Fabrizio Romano has now told JD Football that Partey will leave Arsenal this summer, with a new midfielder set to replace him. There are several players they have in the list. For example, a player they always appreciated is Douglas Luiz of Aston Villa, but negotiating with Villa is never easy, so let's see what's going to happen there, he stated of Arsenal's midfield targets. They have several players lined up, so I think there is a good chance they will bring in a new midfielder. Thomas Partey will leave, Jorginho extended. Partey needs to leave simply because he cannot be relied upon to stay fit. The 30-year-old missed most of the season with injury, again, and as he gets older, his injury problems could worsen. The midfielder has been sensational at times since his £45 million move from Atletico Madrid, but there is still a feeling of missed opportunity given his constant absences from the side. Arsenal need to replace what Partey at his best would offer the team: physicality in the middle, the ability to dribble through the press and an elite short and long passing ability. It is clear that Partey's time is up, and Arsenal will hope to receive some sort of fee for him, with Turkish clubs interested, but the replacement needs to be a player who can come in immediately and slot into the midfield alongside Rice and Martin Odegaard. Well folks, those were the main news for today. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated on everything happening with our beloved team, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel now and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any updates. Thanks for joining us, and until the next video.